Mesdames, Messieurs, bonsoir. C'était le 17 mai dernier. Le monument Le Patriote était inauguré. L'ouvrage et son enseigne « J'aime mon pays » constituent depuis lors des identités remarquables de notre belle capitale, Yaoundé. C'est donc en direct de ce beau site illuminé, coloré, bariolé que nous vous convions à l'événement politico-médiatique du soir. Le message à la nation du chef de l'État au terme d'une année marquée du sceau de la résilience. Résilience des ménages face à l'inflation dopée par la guerre en Ukraine. Résilience des Camerounais face aux crises sécuritaires, avec Boko Haram en déroute dans la région de l'extrême nord et les séparatistes en recul dans les régions du nord-ouest et du sud-ouest. Le message à la nation du chef de l'État a beau être un rituel, mais il reste très attendu. Tant la parole présidentielle est rare et précieuse. Dear viewers, I'm not alone this evening. I'm with a beautiful and resilient woman. Hi, Lucilla.
Bonsoir, Aimé Robert Bina. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for staying with us. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching and listening to us via all CRTV platforms. It is my unique pleasure and singular honor to welcome you, ladies and gentlemen, to this special broadcast here at the Reunification Monument on the occasion of the traditional end-of-year speech of President Paul Biya. This 31st of December 2022, a special venue representing the core oneness of the Republic of Cameroon, whose president will in under 30 minutes address his fellow compatriots, certainly making a balance sheet of the socio-political and economic life of Cameroon this fading year. And why not roll out tangible actions for the new year that begins in close to 4 hours. And so for the next 2 hours or so that we will be in your company, ladies and gentlemen, it will be a moment to salute the resilience not only of our beloved country, Cameroon, in the face of myriad challenges, but also the stamina and stoicism of its citizens, the beautiful and beloved people of Cameroon who continue joining forces to foster growth, development, and a one and indivisible nation. Aimé Robert, among us this evening, we have a number of these strong-willed and dedicated Cameroonians. They are guests on today's special occasion.
Absolument, nous nous apprêtons à vivre une grande soirée en 3 séquences. L'avant-discours, le grand moment, le moment M20h, le discours à la nation du chef de l'État. Évidemment, l'après-discours avec un duplex avec la capitale économique Douala. Avant, pendant et après, nous serons en compagnie de quelques sommités intellectuelles, administratives et politiques pour décrypter ce grand moment de la vie de la nation. Nous allons donc introduire nos premiers invités. Notre premier invité, je devrais dire avec vous, Lucilla.
Yes, Aimé Robert Bina, I have the pleasure and the honor. It is absolutely mine, like I usually say, to welcome a formidable name in the ICT world at home and abroad. He is the president of the ICT University. He's recipient of 3 Lifetime Achievement Awards for outstanding contribution to computer science and telecommunications, as well as ICT research and education, not only in Cameroon, but throughout the world. Please permit me welcome on stage Professor Victor Barika.
Nous devrions également avoir dans cette première séquence le professeur Joseph Vincent Touda Ebodé. Il est professeur titulaire des universités. Nous ne doutons pas qu'il fera son entrée dans ce plateau d'un instant à l'autre. En attendant, nous allons poursuivre le fil de cette première séquence, cette première temporalité d'attente du message à la nation du chef de l'État.
Yes, Aimé Robert Bina, Cameroon socio-political life this 2022 has been as dense as it has been challenging, from the socio-political unrest in the 2 restive regions, the northwest and the southwest regions, to the health challenges that we faced with the cholera epidemic. Solutions were of course sought and they were implemented as the country resolutely faced all odds, and it stood against all of those odds. 2023 on the socio-political front, it is an in-depth retrospection of SPÉCIALE,
A full year characterized by remarkable outcomes, boasted by the President of the Republic, His Excellency Paul Biya. Beyond log-rolling reforms for an economic rebound, he echoed the need to cushion international financial shocks in the Africa-USA Summit in Washington, D.C. Cameroon's first couple held in high esteem the rendezvous to turn the tides for Africa's growth, and in the presence of the continent's leaders, a broach of insight is distilled.
There is a need to work towards establishing a veritable African capital market, capable of providing suitable tools for Africa's development, thus enabling its structural transformation and progress.
Further than the desire to see the financing, exploitation and processing of Africa's natural resources on its soil, the Africa-USA Summit remains telling.
That invitation and its participation is a recognition by the United States government for the domestic policies, the political vision of the president, and the diplomacy which he has carried out for 40 years.
A tidal surge in the U.S.-Cameroon relations in the course of the year is undoubtedly the arrest of 3 Americans of Cameroonian origin for hostage-taking, ransom requests and funding of separatist groups in Cameroon since 2016.
Where people are suggesting that killing students and preventing them from going to school is somehow a valid approach to resolving underlying social concerns. It isn't.
As justice takes its course, a memorable moment on the political sphere was the maiden visit of French President Emmanuel Macron to the country, acclaimed as a strong indication to foster cooperation between Cameroon and France. Both leaders leveraged on the effects of the Russia-Ukraine crisis, resilient economies, and security threats.
President Macron came to Cameroon in July in an official visit, and on the occasion held high-level talks with President Paul Biya.
Half a century gone, the golden jubilee of the unitary state of Cameroon was spotlighted. Celebrated amidst the COVID-19 scare, a military and civilian march past with a detachment of the Congolese armed forces from Brazzaville enlivened many a soul.
It's a very big day where every family should be celebrating and remembering what it stands and seeing how patriotic, united Cameroon we should be able to build a strong nation.
The 2022 legislative year witnessed a sweeping victory of the incumbent speakers. Marcel Nyanji-Fenji, re-elected at the Senate for the 10th time, and the Right Honorable Kavaige Jibril for the 30th as House Speaker, leading the 23-man bureau. Socially, the far north region experienced the wrath of climate change hazards, with thousands left homeless and fields of farmland overrun by floods in Mayo-Danai and Mayo-Sava divisions. A presidential relief addressed the plight.
I think that it's a sign more than ever that President Paul Biya listens to Cameroonians, and that whenever they have difficulties, they can count on the prompt reaction of the presidential couple.
The political gains, social achievements, and challenges of 2022 batten down, but the state stays resolute to all the works for enhanced lives in Cameroon.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for being with us here at this Marinification Monument in the heart of the city of Yaoundé, as we await in under 30 minutes or so the speech, this 31st of December 2022, the traditional end of year speech of President Paul Biya. Here today with us, we have Aimé Robert Bina, we have an ICT University founder and president, Victor Mbarika. He's president of the ICT University, and we just introduced him a while ago. He's a recipient of 3 Lifetime Achievement Awards for outstanding contribution. Can you just break us a little what that means to have 3 outstanding Lifetime Achievement Awards in the field of ICT?
First of all, I want to thank the CRTV for inviting me to this special occasion. when our president, that we are very proud of, will be speaking to the nation. It's really God's grace and a lot of hard work. I thank God for my upbringing, my great parents that raised me to take education very seriously. And I went to school here. I'm proud. Yeah, I have 3 Lifetime Achievement Awards, but the story started right here in Cameroon, where I got completely free education, right? I went to government schools here. I never went to any boarding private school, and went to the US, finished my bachelor's, master's, and PhD in 5 years combined. And then worked hard on my research and published over 200 publications, and the world recognized it and slowly gave me Lifetime Achievement Awards 3 times. And I'm very proud that the background of that came from the great free education I had in this great nation that we love so much.
And we shall be coming certainly back to you, Professor Victor Barika, to talk about the contribution of ICT sector in the digital economy and the development of our youth entrepreneurship in the development of the country's economy. But before we do that, Aimé Robert, maybe we should continue.
Barika, je voudrais peut-être annoncer à ceux des Camerounais qui ne le savent pas que le magazine Inspire a fait de vous l'un des 10 Camerounais les plus influents de la diaspora. C'est-à-dire que nous avons en notre compagnie un compatriote très très influent qui fait partie du top 10 des Camerounais les plus influents de la diaspora. Alors je voudrais vous interroger sur une actualité récente que nous voulons qualifier du tournant de Washington dans la résolution de la crise dans le nord-ouest et le sud-ouest, avec la visite couronnée du succès du chef de l'État, du président Paul Biya, au sommet des leaders aux États-Unis. Et quelques semaines avant, on a assisté pour la première fois à l'interpellation des donneurs d'ordre de ce mouvement séparatiste, ce qui incline que les choses vont dans le bon sens.
Absolutely. This is a very, very serious problem Cameroon is facing, and we cannot shy away from it. We cannot act like there is not a serious problem in the northwest and southwest regions. But the issue now is nobody wants to listen to the other. I was privileged, invited by the Cameroon government to be part of the national dialogue, and I was so proud of the way the Prime Minister handled it. He allowed everybody to speak. Now, the issue here is our head of state has given a free hand for us to talk about this. Now, we may not have a complete satisfactory solution to this, but at least there is a first step for us to talk. But the problem, my dear brothers and sisters, is that some people are bound, they are fixed on separation. If there is no separation in this division in this nation, then there is no solution. And that is the problem, because nobody has 100% of the knowledge. In any negotiation for peace, you must give up something. You must not only base it on what you believe is the only solution to this. And so this is a challenge we are facing, but I'm happy that some dialogue is going on. I think it is not as bad as it was.
We can say not only just some dialogue.
Il y a ces arrestations de donneurs d'ordre qui vont commencer à rendre compte. Absolument. Je précise que 3 ont été interpellés et 2 sont effectivement en détention dans l'État du Missouri aux États-Unis, entre autres pour financement du terrorisme, pour conspiration dans l'enlèvement du cardinal Toumi et du fonds Banlo Dunso et pour blanchiment d'argent.
There are others, like we had in Cameroon calling 3 weeks ago. It was said that there are others that are still on the way of being indicted. The procedure has been opened and others will still be indicted.
Oh, absolutely. You cannot have American citizenship and you sit in America and declare people should be kidnapped in
Professor Barika, we shall be
country.
coming back just after we get some more information.
L'année 2022 n'était pas seulement politique, elle a également été marquée par des faits économiques majeurs autour de la crise en Ukraine, avec cette inflation, avec également cette subvention des produits pétroliers. Voici en résumé, en raccourci, l'année économique revue par nous par Lucrèce Mbenga.
L'économie mondiale s'apprêtait à peine à sortir des effets dévastateurs du Covid-19 que les armes crépitaient en Ukraine. C'était dès le 24 février 2022. L'onde de choc atteint le monde entier et pour cause, la Russie et l'Ukraine, à travers leur production de pétrole, de blé, d'engrais, de gaz et de maïs, tiennent pour ainsi dire l'économie mondiale. La guerre ralentit la production, stoppe les exportations et les différents embargos enfoncent le clou. L'inflation règne partout en maître, 4,6% au Cameroun. Notre économie extravertie trinque. Les prix des produits de grande consommation grimpent et grimpent. Le pain, l'huile, la viande de bœuf et autres. Le conflit russo-ukrainien qui a entraîné une hausse des cours mondiaux du pétrole et de bien d'autres matières premières pousse le Cameroun à adopter une loi de finances rectificative en juin. D'autant qu'entre-temps, les revendications des enseignants ont occasionné des dépenses en milliards imprévues. Le budget passe de 5 599,7 milliards de francs CFA à 5 752,4 milliards de francs CFA, soit une augmentation de 328,3 milliards. Petit producteur de pétrole, si le Cameroun profite de l'embellie des cours mondiaux de l'or noir, sa production et l'état de sa production ne suffisent pas à satisfaire la demande locale, soutenue par des subventions. Oui, ayant fait le choix de continuer à subventionner le prix du carburant à la pompe, les caisses de l'État s'étranglent. 80 milliards de francs CFA de manque à gagner pour le seul mois de juin, 317 milliards pour le premier trimestre de l'année 2022. La trésorerie est tendue, l'approvisionnement en produits pétroliers est perturbé. Les stations d'essence sont à sec. La restructuration de la dette de la Sonara et sa réhabilitation sont certes implémentées, mais ne donnent pas encore de résultats. Cependant, l'État maintient la subvention, plus de 700 milliards de francs CFA en cette fin d'année, dans un pays dont les charges salariales et de pensions sont passées à 120 milliards de francs CFA par mois et qui en plus doit gérer le service de la dette. Mais aussi maintenir les militaires au front, à l'extrême nord contre Boko Haram, au nord-ouest et au sud-ouest contre les séparatistes. Sans compter ses autres charges incompressibles. C'est ce pays donc qui réussit son retour sur le marché financier régional après 4 ans d'absence. Tenez, parti chercher 200 milliards de francs CFA d'emprunts obligataires, le Cameroun obtient un total de 239 milliards de francs CFA de souscription et en retient finalement 235. La qualité de sa signature est donc restée intacte en 2022 et sa résilience lui a même permis de livrer des travaux d'envergure, notamment la ligne de transport d'électricité Yaoundé-Bafoussam qui améliore le service public de l'électricité dans les régions de l'Ouest, du Nord-Ouest et du Sud-Ouest notamment. Dans la même veine, la ligne d'électricité Yaoundé à Bomban a sorti la région de l'Est de son isolement électrique, reliée désormais qu'elle est au réseau interconnecté Sud. L'Est, au même titre que les autres régions du RIS, profite elle aussi de la nouvelle offre de production du barrage de Menveleux. En effet, depuis novembre, la ligne haute tension partant de Niabizane à Nkolonkoumou par Yaoundé ayant été construite, le barrage de Menveleux est passé à une offre de production de 90 MW à 211 MW qui correspondent à sa capacité installée. 2022 a donc été marqué par l'amélioration de l'offre en énergie en termes de production. Et même si la distribution demeure un défi, le courant parvient tant bien que mal à passer comme la route qui passe mieux entre le Cameroun et le Nigeria grâce au pont sur la Cross River ici inauguré. Ça roule également mieux sur l'axe Saint-Mélima-Mengon, sur l'autoroute Yaoundé-Simalen, section Ras-Campagne, sur l'échangeur Trompette de Bala, sur l'autoroute Kribilo-Labé et son péage automatique, le tout premier du Cameroun. 2022, une année en gris pour l'économie camerounaise.
Thank you, Lucrèce Mebenga, for that economic outlook in 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, you are at the Patriot Monument in the heart of Yaoundé. It is the 31st of December 2022, and we are just a few minutes to the 31st traditional end-of-year speech of the President of the Republic, Paul Biya, who should be addressing the nation in just under 10 minutes or so. Before we get into the President's speech, we have been talking with a distinguished professor here, with Aimé Robert Bina. We've been talking about, we're talking with Professor Mbarika Victor. He is the president of the ICT University. And we've been talking about the indictments, the recent indictments in the United States of America of Cameroonian, of citizens of Cameroon who are U.S. citizens now and who were indicted for terrorism, promotion of terrorism and the financing of terrorism activities in the Northwest and Southwest regions. And you were just telling us a while ago how these indictments were not ending now. The others are on the way, and the network has been opened for the United States of America and for Cameroon to join forces and ensure that these indictments continue and the culprits of the secessionist movement are brought to book. Now, how is the ICT sector that you are an expert in? How is the ICT sector, how was the ICT sector crucial? How was it fundamental in ensuring that the separatist movements, movements in the United States, that network was dismantled?
ICT was everything. ICT was everything that led to these arrests, because a lot of the things some of these guys were doing, they were using the internet to talk about it, using social media. All that is ICTs. One thing some of them forgot is with ICTs, these things are saved in servers, and it's going to live for a long time. And so we cannot shy away from the power of ICTs in using it as evidence. If someone wants to, I saw there was a recording that every diasporan that comes to Northwest or Southwest from the US or Europe should be kidnapped. That is on video, it's on social media where someone declared this. How can that happen? You know, so these things, when they do it, they forget. These things can be used in evidence in the court. America is a country of laws. Cameroon is a country of laws. I'm pretty sure the American government would not like Cameroonians sitting here planning kidnaps of Americans there. So yes, I like this collaboration between the Cameroon government and the American government, and I want to say bravo for this particular thing. I think this is like we are coming to a good development in this area.
Alors, professeur Mbarika, revenons à votre cœur de métier. Le sommet des leaders a également donné lieu à une accélération des perspectives dans le domaine des TIC.
Yes. Are you talking about the Washington Summit?
Tout à fait.
I was absolutely excited. I must tell you that. When my head of state stood on that podium, he did not have a lot of time, but he spent 90% of his time talking about what? Cameroon and Africa getting involved in space technology. Just 3 weeks ago, I think 4 weeks ago, ICT University announced its space program. Okay? We have invested money to start training students to be involved in space technology. So I was very proud. And remember, the president did not only talk about Cameroon, he talked about the whole of Africa benefiting from the power of space technology, developing our own satellites, which is something I want to highlight on this show. I would say the head of state needs to go further to talk about Africa's communication independence. We need our own satellites. We need to govern it. If tomorrow the French company that provides satellite connection for CRTV makes them angry, they can cut us off. So I was so proud of my president declaring a support. And that is the kind of support we need to fly far in this area of space technology. I am one of those that will make it happen in this country. That's my commitment.
Alors, le Cameroun a amorcé depuis plusieurs années déjà cette conversion vers l'économie numérique. Il y a eu de lourds investissements. Je pense à ce linéaire de fibre optique de 20 000 km. Yes. Je pense à d'autres investissements. De votre point de vue, sur quels aspects il faut mettre davantage l'accent pour que nous allions plus vite dans cette conversion numérique que le Cameroun a déjà opérée sous l'impulsion du président Paul Biya?
Well, I want to first of all even correct you a little bit. We have really gone far already. We have very high-speed internet connectivity in Cameroon. The problem is that...
Nous disons la même chose, hein? I'm saying the same thing.
Yeah. Exactly. What we are saying here is a lot of people will say Africa does not have good connectivity. No. MTN, Camtel, Orange, they do have good connectivity. You just have to pay for it. So that's already a great thing. So based on your question, we need to build more and more bandwidth to create more access, not just for the urban elite, remember during the president's speech in Washington, he talked about the coverage of the entire continent, which includes the rural areas. So we are very excited about the advances. May I say
Le Cameroun est même déjà qui pour fournir la fibre optique au Tchad, au Gabon, en Centrafrique.
To make a passport in America, it takes
Professor
3 days in
Barika,
Cameroon.
we shall certainly come back to you to develop all of those growth endeavors of Cameroon.
Absolutely.
You know that the president should be talking to the nation in less than 2 minutes. So ladies and gentlemen, dear Cameroonians at home and abroad, we call on you to take your seats. We call on you to watch. We call on you to listen with very keen attention to the President of the Republic, Paul Biya, who should be delivering his traditional end-of-year address to the nation. Aimé Robert Bina, Cameroonians are waiting to hear what their president will be talking about.
C'est le moment que tous les Camerounais attendent, les Camerounais d'ici et de la diaspora, connectés sur la CRTV et grâce au TIC, connectés de par le monde. Et effectivement, après une année de résilience, avons-nous des raisons d'espérer en 2023? Nous attendons de voir et de savoir avec ce message à la nation du chef de l'État.
Over to you, CRTV Production House in Balatou, Yaoundé. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here at the Patriot Monument. We shall be listening to the head of state speech in under, I think, 1 minute. President Paul Biya should be outlining to us, the major challenges that we face in 2022, and of course the achievements that Cameroon, that the nation, that the country brought about in this 2022 that is slowly ebbing away to give way to 2023, and of course a log of information that we will surely be having from the president's speech on what is envisaged into 2023. So in under a few seconds, we shall be moving to CRTV Production House in Balatou, where we would be listening to the President of the Republic, Paul Biya, talk to Cameroonians, talk to his compatriots about what he envisages for the year coming and how his vision, his dream of developing this country shall continue. So CRTV Production.
Capsule au Palais de l'Unité pour le message à la nation du chef de l'État.